Hello everyone and welcome to Game 3 in a series between Dragon and Elfi. A little bit of recording issues in the first time I record this, so I have seen the game. I did make a lot of predictions, but now that I know the outcome, I really feel like I'm cheating with my predictions. Alright, Game 3 underway. Dragon spawning over here on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Elfi spawning on the top left hand side of the map as well. I wanted to say one thing, that this series is longer than a best of 3. Unfortunately, I won't be able to cast them all immediately at once, especially with a little bit of that hiccup in terms of the previous cast. Now, so far we've seen Dragon playing very well in terms of that one base timing pressure style. So that timing pressure style has really been catching Elfi off guard and out of position. We'll see if this continues to happen, or if we're going to see a change in strategies from either of these players. So far, Elfi looks like he's going to be going for that typical pylon gateway assimilator pylon cybernetics core opening. Meanwhile, Dragon, we'll see if he goes for an early refinery once more, or if he goes for the much more metagame style, which is to establish up a fast expansion. Now, the problem is that if your timing attack doesn't work and you don't deal enough damage, then you are really far behind, and a lot of players have really found ways to just mitigate and minimize that damage. So far, it looks as though Dragon is not going to be going for an early refinery, so we could see a 1-Rax expand coming in as Elfi quickly comes inside, gonna take a look around and start zapping away, but pretty much this SCV going to be able to finish the barracks. One Marine will be trained up here in just a moment. Add an orbital command, and you have the makings of your standard Terran build. So far, we'll see what Elfi is going to be doing. Elfi is going into that Pylon Cybernetics Core build, as I mentioned earlier. And he did get that Cybernetics Core a little bit earlier than I imagined he would, delaying some probe production. So perhaps he might be a little bit more aggressive in terms of his tech, after seeing what his opponent has thrown at him. Elfi is sitting at 21/26 supply. We are going into a command center down over here at the natural expansion, and now we are going to see a probe make its way back around. Let's go ahead and close that so I don't get interrupted. I am still in Taiwan. I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous video or in an earlier game, but I am still in Taiwan, so I am casting at like 6 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. Normally I don't have many friends playing at 6 in the morning. Probe gonna get in one final zap on that SCV. A little bit of a lucky break for Dragon, not taking too much damage on that SCV. If that SCV was any other worker, he would be dead. Actually no, the drone would probably be alive just because of natural regeneration. And maybe the probe as well because of shield regeneration. So, then again, only the SCV would have that low hit points. Alright, I guess really not that lucky. More and more Marines now being added off over here. We are going to see a heavier barracks production come in from Dragon simply because he doesn't have any gas. You really want to make sure that if you are expanding early on in the game, you have a way to deal with a lot of early aggression from your opponent. Even if the Zealot and the Stalker walks up here, 5 Marines with that superior range and the decent movement speed and kiting against the Zealot should be able to stop these units from walking up, even though that the Stalker and the Zealot cost more than these 5 Marines in overall cost. Dragon also, with the Defender's advantage, should be able to get more and more reinforcements, especially as he is getting up now his 5th barracks and now training up a whole bunch of Marines. The problem for Dragon will be that Dragon needs to get up a lot of supply depots in order to keep up with his production. He's seen at 37/38, and that is with some of these barracks currently not even training up any units at all. Some of them are double queued as the Marines are now backing away, and they're going to be doing a little bit of a roundabout attack. There are 3, 4, 5 fresh Marines here on the ramp, and by the looks of it, Elfi, if he walks up this ramp and takes a look, he's going to pretty much see 6 Marines, and he's not going to know that a new squadron of Marines have made their way out across the map. This could be huge. This small tactical force could deal a lot of damage, but once again, Dragon is supply blocked 46/46 and needs to continue to just train up even more. Marines are trying to walk down the ramp. The Stalkers and the Zealots now backing off over here. You're going to see that there's 7 Marines now making their way in, and they could perhaps catch the Stalkers and the Zealots as they're trying to walk back in. That could be a huge loss, as no, the Stalkers and the Marines are simply just going to walk up the ramp here and now take down some units. There's some Guardian Shield, there's some Zealots now engaging, trying to take down one sentry. The sentry does get taken down already, and a second very, very low hit point sentry could fall as well. The Stalkers, more Marines now reinforcing. Probes may end up falling here, as the Marines are now just going to continue that push. Beautiful play, another Stalker gets taken down, and let's take a look at the losses higher and higher for Elfi, as Marines are now trying to engage. Once again, the Marines need to focus onto a Zealot. One Zealot gonna barely escape, yes, barely escape at 6 hit points here, as the Marines are once again trying to engage. Elfi should back off with that lower hit point Zealot, and now it looks like Dragon actually on the losing end of that engagement, but he did take out 6 workers. 32 probes, or 31 SCVs versus 34 probes. A nice change there, as the Marines are now going after probes once again. Going to be able to take them down. Oh, should he be able to take down a Zealot? Yes, he is able to take down another Zealot there. And let's take a look at the overall losses. Pretty even, except for the fact that Terran has more workers. Alright, Terran has more workers. Dragon now establishing up a bunker here at the front door. He's going to need a large group of units. And oh, a beautiful play once more. Dragon going to try to hide some Marines off and perhaps sneak them inside once again. Observers could be coming up that ramp. 2 SCVs now making their way down, and these SCVs are splitting their directions and are just gonna miss this observer here. It looks like a command center is being placed down here and here as well. So 2 ninja expansions by Dragon, and Dragon looking to perhaps expand and not let his opponent know anything about it. It's very difficult for a player, if you do not know where all of your opponent's expansions are, to really take them down. A factory is already being placed down here. The Marines are trying to shoo away that observer and able to take it down after getting enough energy from that scanner sweep. Dragon once more supply block, especially with 4 Marines, 5 SCVs queued up inside that command center. He really needs to increase his supply depot production in order to not be supply blocked. This is really hurting his overall economy and his overall strategy. One or a group of Marines quickly going to get taken down and cleaned up by these Colossi here, as 7 Marines against 2 Colossi. A lot of Zealots and Sentries is very, very short work. Dragon looks like he is trying to establish up this high ground expansion here at the 3 o'clock position. Meanwhile, take the natural over here on the bottom left-hand side. And these are 2 very, very nice places to try and hide an expansion, as you normally may not expect to see them. It looks as though, yes, SCV going to be jumping inside the command center. Most likely will land and then upgrade to an orbital command. Dragon could easily establish up these command centers, upgrade them to orbital commands, and then essentially start strip mining with those mules and be able to run off of his bases a little bit longer. We are getting up more bunkers, a 4th bunker now being established here, as we are going to see the Colossi group try to push in on this front door. Dragon sitting on a fair amount of minerals and a fair amount of gas. Production is going in and showing into Vikings now. 3 Vikings being trained at a time. How much damage can be dealt as the SCVs need to get over to repair this bunker? It looks as the SCVs are going to be able to repair here. There's a scanner sweep, taking down the observer that I believe was there, as we now see the Marines are backing away once more. SCVs really need a repair, as the Vikings now finally showing up. The Marauders inside do have a range of 7 +1 range from the help of that bunker. Colossi, 3 Colossi ready to go, and the Elfi could engage here in just a second. Vikings are showing up though, but the Stalkers and the Sentries should be able to destroy those Vikings. There's simply not enough of them just quite yet. SCVs are re-engaging, the Stalkers are engaging as well. Guardian Shield is up, reducing the damage from those Vikings by 4. Going to try to go after those Colossi again, and 1 or 2 more volleys would do it, as the Colossus decides to back off. We are now going into heavier Viking production. It looks like there's a new reactor. We are going to have a swap of the starport and the factory once more, as Elfi decides not to siege much longer, which is a very smart call. The longer you siege, the harder and harder it is to siege your opponent, especially if they have two hidden bases that you don't know about. You really can't choke them enough, as we are going into, what, 8 Vikings here, a whole bunch of barracks, Marines, and Marauders still battling it out, or just sitting off over here, as we are now going into heavy medevac production. And now it looks like Dragon wants to establish up this third base. By the looks of it, yes, Dragon has scanner sweeped Elfi's base over here and the third base, and now Dragon knows that he needs to establish up his, what looks like would normally be his third base, so that his other two bases don't get scouted out. As soon as Elfi comes in, sees this base has been established, he will not look for this base or this base until a little bit later. Dragon already getting up orbital commands into those locations, and now Vikings are on the move. 8 Vikings on the move, and those 8 Vikings should be able to make short work of any Colossi, but we now see a transition into Zealot Archon. Charge now being researched, Templar Archives being added as well. Zealot Archon is a very effective strategy, as the Vikings that Dragon has, this 16 supply of units, is not going to be very useful after taking down the Colossi. The Colossi are going to be useful. They're going to try to bait. They're going to have that long range. And now we are going to see this one proxy pylon is going to fall. Dragon with a much larger army here, and just in dominant control of this game. 72 supply in workers versus 71. But we are seeing those Archons come in. We are also going into a photon cannon. And one thing we still haven't seen is Dragon trying to utilize any drops. We can see that there are 4 medevacs here, but drops may not work out well, as we are going to see a group of Stalkers try to engage here. Archon, Vikings, the Vikings getting off almost two-shotting that Colossus. Guardian Shield really helping out, as the Colossus down to 46 hit points. Vikings are going to engage, taking down the Colossi. Marines and the Marauders are still battling it out, and Elfi losing a whole bunch of units, now down to 144 compared to 164. He is replenishing them fairly quickly, as the last Colossus is about to fall. No, it is not. Down to 10 hit points and still surviving. Dragon now up to 151 compared to 143. Overall army compositions still shows that Elfi is slightly ahead if you account for the mineral or account for the gas, but that is going to change, especially when we get more and more Archons onto the field. Production tab shows a lot of Zealots now warping in. And let's take a look at the number of gateways there are on the field. 12 gateways. Meanwhile, Dragon already established up his, what would look like his third, and now running off of 7 barracks and 2 reactor starports. Double training of medevacs, and Elfi able to catch this expansion here just by sheer luck with an observer. So that expansion looks like it could get taken down here in just a moment. Archons, Zealots, Stalkers, Sentries now making their way over. And we are going to see an engagement here in the center, but the Vikings now being forced to retreat, as the Stalkers are getting in some easy shots. Vikings do move slower than Stalkers, as they don't fly all that quickly. We are going to see that the Vikings, Marines, and Marauders now making their way over. We are going to see a scanner sweep now engaging. And here we go. What is going to be happening next? Zealots are going to be engaging. The Templars do not have Psystorm as of yet. Still need about another 10 seconds here. Vikings are going to try to shoot down the last of the Colossi. It looks like one Colossus is going to fall. There it goes. One Colossus is left, but the last Viking has fallen as well, as the Colossi now making their way into this 4th base and is going to quickly destroy it. Elfi now with the overall supply advantage. Let's take a look at the losses. About a 4,000 resources difference, but the income tab still shows that Terran has the advantage. Production tab and army tab of Protoss much higher, and this could be a problem for Dragon. Dragon now getting level 2 weapons upgrade, but he is already behind in terms of upgrades, and he doesn't have the necessary ghosts to deal with all of these high Templars. The Marines and the Marauders are doing their best job to try to split. In comes the scanner sweeps. More the Colossi are going to fall here. Sentries with Guardian Shield. There's some beautiful Psystorms coming in straight up on top of the 2 patches of Bio units, as the Zealots are now going to clean up. There are no proxy pylons though, so reinforcements are going to be very, very difficult to come by, as the medevacs are also retreating. Dragon does have the defender's advantage, but the SCVs are simply falling too quickly, and now Dragon is down to the 62 workers. More and more SCVs getting taken down. A beautiful side storm on the ramp there, as Elfi now with a 50-40 supply advantage. Another beautiful side storm coming in, but sentries are getting taken down as well. Both sides losing a lot of units. Marauders showing up, and now a wave of new reinforced zealots coming in, or reinforcing zealots coming in, and the Archons may simply be able to walk inside the space. A 70 supply advantage going after here. Zealots going after some of the SCVs at the third, as the medevacs are all going to fall, and somehow Dragon with a hidden ninja expansion falling to Elfi. Elfi is now running up on 4 bases. He is sitting on 73 workers compared to 24. Just going to be a matter of time before the GG comes in, as there's not much that Dragon can do in order to get back into this game. Simply too far behind, and I believe now down to 40 supply. The GG should be coming in just a second. Where is it? Zealots, there we go. There is the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 3 in this series. Please stay tuned tomorrow, or if you guys are not watching these games as I post them, just click on Game 4. So far, these games have been really great to follow. Been really enjoyed casting them with you, or for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you guys on BattleNet.